The volunteer trip leader model serves as the organizational structure for the outdoor leader modules present and in the future. A volunteer outdoor recreation trip leader assumes a volunteer thrust into a leadership role. The volunteer leader has little, if any, outdoor experience. They are not professionals in the traditional sense with extensive skills and experience. They don't have the time or resources to obtain extensive training or experience either. The issue is, what are the minimum skills that the volunteer leader needs to be successful and to provide a safe and enjoyable experience for participants? Hard and soft skills. In the model, hard skills are tangible skills like paddling the canoe, cooking dinner, or purifying water. The hard skills are mentioned in passing. There are numerous resources available to expand upon these topics. Soft skills are generally less tangible or are sometimes referred to as people skills, like facilitating, leadership, debriefing, instructing, or organizational skills. Activity-specific skills. There are skills specifically applicable to the activity. Paddling requires knowing how to maneuver the canoe. The setting requires specialized skills. Whitewater rivers, lakes, and coastal waters require different skill sets. This video focuses on paddling. In turn, the activity chosen determines both the camping and outdoor skills and organizational skills. As a rule, your level of competency should be greater than those required to perform the activity. Skill and experience are important. It affects supervision. If you are focused on what you are doing, you are not focused on what the group is doing. In part, the mode of travel determines the camping and outdoor equipment needed. The saying that backpackers count ounces, canoe campers count pounds, and rafters count tons captures some of the differences regarding what you can take with you on your trip. Camping and outdoor skills. A brief overview and key consideration of the camping and outdoor skills are included for each topic. They are designed to spur further investigation. Food. There is a saying that an army marches on its stomach. It applies to backcountry trips also. The simple addition of a backpacker's oven can enable creative and delicious entrees like pizza or a birthday cake. Adding a tablespoon or two of dehydrated eggs solves the egg issue with store-bought cake mixes. Prepackaged dehydrated or freeze-dried foods work, but don't overlook repackaged foods from the supermarket. Water. Either purify it or carry it with you. A traditional rule of thumb is to plan for 1 gallon of water per person per day. Preventing giardia is a major issue on inland waters. Waste disposal and sanitation. Waste disposal is usually determined by the managing agency and setting. On western rivers, urinate in the river and carry out solid waste. In the Everglades, National Park Service provides waste disposal facilities. Shelter. Shelter is anything that protects the body. We are astronauts traveling through outdoor space. Shelter is our version of a space capsule. Shelter can include site selection, tent or other shelters, sleeping gear, and clothes. Communications. Hand and paddle signals work well within the group. Consider a satellite phone or similar device to communicate with the base camp. Generally, there is no cell phone reception in the backcountry. Navigation. Navigation is the art of knowing where you are and where you are going. It is the implementation of routing and scheduling component of trip planning. Consider a 3-tier approach to navigation utilizing natural objects, traditional map or chart, and compass, and electronic devices including GPS. First aid. In the front country, first aid is essentially stabilize and transport. In the backcountry, the hospital or similar care is usually more than the golden hour away, which changes the basic strategy and may require a higher standard of care. Safety and risk management. Generally, safety involves accident prevention. Risk management is the process of identifying potential unwanted energy sources and preventing them from transferring to and harming participants with barriers that are, unfortunately, less than adequate. Protection. Not everything in the outdoor environment is friendly. There are bears, raccoons, and other animals that can hurt you. In some locations, people can hurt you too, but then you might want to avoid these places. Store food in animal-proof containers, cache it in bear country, and keep it out of the tents. Recreation. Consider an evening program that ties into the rationale for the trip and being outdoors. Trip planning is the preparation done prior to the backcountry trip. It sets the tone for a safe and enjoyable trip. 3 thoughts. First, why are you taking the group outdoors? It is easy to gloss over the rationale for the trip. It is listed first because everything emanates from it, even the evening program under recreation. Second, the listing of topics are somewhat hierarchical. Beginning with rationale, each topic item is influenced by the item listed above it. Listed last, budgeting and risk management cut across the other topics. Third, and a key planning rule, is to match the challenges and risks of the activity with the skills and competencies of the participants. This will help to lead to a safe and enjoyable experience, or in the terminology of the adventure experience paradigm, a peak adventure. Instructional skills. Instructional skills are the teaching skills that the trip leader uses to instruct participants. For the volunteer leader, the emphasis is on providing some hands-on practical skills that will aid in instructional settings. An informal lesson plan is used to provide the structure for this module. Simplifying the process, there are essentially 3 components to a lesson plan. First is the objective, or what do you want the learner to learn? Second is the activity, or how do you deliver the objectives? Third is assessment, or how do you know that the learner learned? Facilitation skills. Facilitation skills help make the outdoor experience easier, safer, and more enjoyable. Generally, they focus on what many call the people skills, such as leadership, supervision, and risk management. They may seem like a luxury, particularly when the volunteer leader is focused on completing the hard skills. However, think of them as the glue which holds together the other elements in the model. Situational awareness is understanding the appropriate cues in your environment and predicting their impact on your situation. Supervision is the systematic supervision of the group and placing yourself in a position to take action if needed. There are 3 types of supervision: general, specific, and transitional supervision. In the 2-question leadership model, the leader assesses the participants' ability and willingness and varies their leadership style to meet the needs of the participant. Risk management is spotting potential accidents before they happen and taking the appropriate action to reduce the likelihood of an incident occurring. Normally, debriefing occurs after an event. However, the 3-step debriefing process can be used in a variety of settings. Tell me the facts. How do you feel? And what do we do now? These facilitation skills are covered in separate videos. More may be added. The model provides an organizational structure for the accompanying individual modules. Consult additional resources as needed. Think of the model and modules as a starting point for gaining the minimal skills needed to have a safe and enjoyable outdoor experience.